Goosefeather's Curse. Chapter 1. The leader of Tiger Clan unsheathed his claws until they pierced the smooth, spotted throat of the cat who sprawled beneath him. He lifted his magnificent black-striped head and glared at the warrior standing at the edge of the trees. "This is my forest," he roared. "One step closer and I'll rip the fur from your leader's bones." Goosey whimpered and buried his nose under his thick gray tail. The elderly she-cat nudged him with her muzzle. "Don't be scared, little one," she purred. "It's only a story."
"But Tiger Clan is so mean,"
Goosey mewed, his voice muffled by fur. "Goosey, where are you? Come outside." Goosey lifted his head and scowled.
"That's my mother,"
he muttered. "It's a lovely day. You should be out here, not moldering in the den." The old she-cat nuzzled the top of his head. "Go on, scamp," she meowed. "We can finish the story later."
"But I want to hear it now!"
Goosey wailed.
"What if I meet the leader of Tiger Clan when I'm a warrior? I need to know how to fight him."
"There will be time later, I promise. Now go find your mother. She's right. It's a beautiful day." The she-cat prodded him with her fat brown paw, and Goosey stumbled reluctantly out of the nest. He pushed his way through the thorns and emerged blinking into the sunlit clearing. The brambles that circled the clearing sparkled from the recent fall of rain, and the air was heavy with the scent of unfurling leaves and warm fresh kill. Goosey's belly rumbled, and he turned toward the pile of prey, but before he could take a step, a damp and prickly ball of moss knocked his legs out from under him. "Oof!" he grunted, tumbling onto his side. A gray and white she-cat bounded over and stared down at him.
"Oh, Goosey,"
she meowed.
"Are you all right?" "Of course he's all right,"
huffed a silver-gray she-cat. She trotted up on sturdy, fluff-covered legs.
"Aren't you?"
Goosey lifted his head.
"Yes, I'm fine, Moonkit. I didn't see the moss ball coming, that's all."
Moonkit prodded him with her forepaw.
"Get up! I want to play!"
A dark red kit with round amber eyes bounced up and flicked the moss ball away.
"Come on, Moonkit. Bet you can't catch this."
Goosey's littermate spun around and raced after the ball as it rolled across the clearing. Poppykit followed, her longer legs keeping up easily. There was a flash of dark brown fur as her brother Heronkit charged to meet them. All three kits crashed together in a flurry of paws and tails, while the ball of moss kept rolling until it reached the fresh kill pile. Watching them, Goosey winced. His mother licked the top of his head. "You should join in more," she urged him. "You won't get hurt." Goosey looked up at her.
"Really? Then why is Rabbit Kid in Cloudberry's den again? Did he fall off the half-tree? Get stuck in a bramble?"
Daisy Toe shook her head. "He got a thorn stuck in his nose. He's clumsy because he hasn't grown into his paws yet." Goosey looked down at his small, furry feet.
"I don't want to stay this size forever,"
he muttered.
"What if I never grow big enough to be a warrior?"
"That's not what I meant," Daisy Toe began. She broke off as the gorse bushes at the entrance to the clearing quivered and several cats burst through. A tortoiseshell she-cat with leaf-green eyes was at the head of the patrol. She dropped her catch, a plump young pigeon, on the fresh kill pile and trotted over to Daisy Toe.
"You'd have loved it out there today," she mewed. "The prey was practically falling into our paws."
For a moment Daisy Toe looked wistful. "Oh, maybe next moonlark song," she replied. "I need to get the little ones weaned first." The black tom who had followed Lark's song through the tunnel came to join them. A red squirrel dangled from his jaws. He placed the squirrel on the ground and brushed the tip of his tail along Daisy Toe's flank. "I caught this for you," he purred. "Thanks, Redtail," Daisy Toe meowed, her eyes lighting up. There was a gasp from the other side of the fresh kill pile. Goosey saw a broad-shouldered gray apprentice staring at him.
"Wow, Goosey, is that really you? Or just a lump of moss shaped like you?"
Goosey sighed as the cat trotted over and sniffed him.
"I haven't seen you outside for days," the tom went on. "Look, Redtail, your sun doesn't melt in sunlight."
The black warrior twitched his ears. "That's enough, Stormpaw. Go see if the elders want anything to eat." Moonkit ran over, her stubby tail straight up in the air.
"Stormpaw, watch this. I've been practicing that move you showed me."
She crouched down, waggling her haunches, then sprang forward with her front paws raised. Her ears were flat back, and she curled her lip to reveal tiny, sharp teeth.
Pretty fierce, huh?
She panted, dropping back onto all four paws. Stormpaw nodded.
You scared me for sure. Do you want to help me take Freshkill to the elders? Then I'll teach you another battle move.
Yes, please! Moonkit bounced on the spot, her yellow eyes shining. Redtail narrowed his eyes at Stormpaw. You're the apprentice, he reminded him. Don't let the kits do your duties for you.
But I want to help, Moonkit protested. I hope Stormpaw can be my mentor when I'm an apprentice. Of course he won't be, Goosekit mewed. He'll only just be a warrior. Maybe, but he'll be the best warrior in ThunderClan, Moonkit declared loyally. Even better than Dostar.
Stormpaw shuffled his paws.
Come on, Moonkit, he muttered. Let's feed the elders.
Goosekit watched them pick up a blackbird from the Freshkill pile and started hauling it toward the Elder's Den, where two ancient cats sat outside with the sun warming their pelts. Moonkit's eyes bulged with the effort of dragging the heavy bird. Goosekit winced as they almost collided with a slender, white-furred Tom, but somehow they missed him and the Tom walked on and vanished into the gorse tunnel. The other two cats on the hunting patrol, Hairpounce and her apprentice, Adderpaw, were depositing their prey on the pile. Adderpaw twitched his tail toward Goosekit. Come and try this mouse! I caught it myself, he added proudly. Goosekit trotted over and sniffed at the brown furred, still warm body. It was huge, almost as big as him. Its nose was wrinkled slightly, exposing long front teeth, and its paws were clenched in tight little curls. Goosekit winced. He had shared some Freshkill with his mother and Moonkit, but he preferred milk. Eating Freshkill made his jaws ache. Don't you want it? Adderpaw asked, sounding disappointed. Goosekit gripped one of the mouse's front legs and started to heave it off the pile. As his hind paws scrabbled on the sandy earth, he was shoved roughly aside. A ragged ginger shape loomed over him. Watch out, Nettlebreeze, Adderpaw called. There's plenty of prey. Nettlebreeze turned his cloudy gaze on the apprentice.
What? Did you say something?
He twitched his ears, and a lump of something yucky jumped onto Goosekit's head.
Hey!
Goosekit protested.
Get off me! This is my mouse!
He shook his head, and a tick covered in mouse bile fell onto the floor. The ancient cat bent his head and sniffed him.
Don't you know the warrior code? Elders and kits eat first. I am a kit, Goosekit mewed.
Then you should learn to respect your elders, Nettlebreeze growled. He placed one paw on the mouse. Leave me to eat in peace. Goosekit backed away, his fur fluffed up with indignation. But he knew better than to pick a quarrel with the oldest cat in ThunderClan. Maybe the oldest cat in all 4 clans. Goosekit suspected Nettlebreeze had been alive when the 4 great oak trees had been nothing more than acorns. His tail spiked as he pictured the hollow that his mother had described to him, flanked by steep slopes and watched over by the mighty oaks. As soon as he was 6 moons old, Goosekit would be an apprentice, able to go to the gathering every full moon and meet cats from the other clans. Goosekit wasn't sure how much fun that sounded. He already felt a bit alarmed by how many cats there were in ThunderClan. Goosekit headed back toward the nursery, swerving to avoid Heronkit and Poppykit, who were wrestling over a stick. Their littermate, Rabbitkit, watched, a large leaf stuck on his pricked nose.
Go on, Poppykit,
he cheered, sounding as if he had his head stuck in a patch of ferns. Goosekit was about to push his way into the den when Daisy Toe stopped him. Stay outside with me, she urged. It's too nice to be inside. Don't you want to play with your den mates? She nodded toward Moonkit, who was stalking across the clearing beside Stormpaw. The tip of her tongue poked out as she concentrated hard on copying his low, stealthy movement. 2 full-grown warriors watched them, half hidden in the shadows under the brambles. Goosekit curled into his mother's warm belly fur. I'd rather stay with you, he mewed. There are too many cats here. Daisy Toe purred. No more than usual. These are your clanmates, Goosekit. The cats who will feed and protect and train you until you are ready to patrol alongside them. They will always look out for you. Stormpaw won't, Goosekit growled. He's going to try to kill me. Beside him, Daisy Toe stiffened. Don't say that. Stormpaw will look out for you like all your clanmates. Goosekit shook his head stubbornly. There were pictures crowding into his head, as clearly as if they were right in front of him.
There will be a badger. he insisted, and Stormpaw will leave me to fight it on my own.
You're letting your imagination run away with you, Daisy Toe scolded him. Stop it. You haven't even seen a badger yet.
I know what they look like, Goosey argued. Big, with a long pointy face. They're black and white like magpies, but striped like Tiger Clan. They're angry and fierce, and they eat kits.
Daisy Toe wrapped her tail around him. You'll have to train hard and become a big, strong warrior, won't you? Then you can fight off all the badgers on your own. Meanwhile, I think you should stop listening to the elders' stories. They're putting mouse-brained ideas into your head. Goosey nestled closer to his mother's belly. In his head, he saw the huge black and white creature looming over him, yellow teeth bared, drool hanging from its jaws.
I'm going to be really scared, he muttered. I don't like badgers. Stormpaw is the meanest cat in Thunder Clan.